Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm coming at you today with another crisp review, and today we're looking at Street Dancing MechaGodzilla from the Monster King series. So this is obviously the 12-inch Monster King series MechaGodzilla 3, or Kiryu 2002, and this just came out in August of this year with the Bandai Shin Godzilla figures. This came out alongside of the reissue of the Godzilla 2004, plus a obviously 12-inch Shin Godzilla. And yup. Don't even know what happened there. So this was originally a Bandai Creation mold back many years ago when they released this MechaGodzilla and the original Godzilla 2004. The sculpt on this it's interesting. It's almost modeled after the Bam Presto 8-inch MechaGodzilla. I have a review of that on my channel. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go find that. And it's almost the exact same stance. Bandai Creation definitely has recently liked to make all of their monsters in a stanced position to make them hard to display and super goofy looking half the time. Not really a big fan of that, but the sculpt on this MechaGodzilla is okay. It's definitely not the best sculpt of Kiryu out there. It looks fine, especially in a poorly lit room, is when I notice how fine it looks, meaning that it doesn't look very fine. But it's okay for what it is. So, as you might be able to tell, there is some parts of MechaGodzilla that do seem kind of oddly proportioned or not quite sculpted correctly, like the horns on his head are all kind of weird. This is way too thick. His spines aren't quite as expanded as they should be, and they are decently wide for whatever reason. He is missing some rows of spines in here, and overall he does just kind of seem strangely proportionate. There is some long hands. Minor defects come on it, like you can see on his wrist right here. There are some strange scuffs and markings that all came off of him right out of the box, and when he does come in, it's just one of those big open window box. I'm sure everyone's seen them before. And overall, it's just kind of a strange sculpt. I mean, you can obviously tell it's supposed to be MechaGodzilla 2002. It's just obviously not X Plus material. It's what you get when you're buying a $40 foot tall figure. You just get basically okay quality, okay sculpt. It's not, professional. It's not a Yuji Sakai. It's pretty close though. Not really. Shh, don't tell anyone. But it is all right. Next thing is the paint. The paint is, well, it's kind of like the 6-inch Bandai vinyl, which is kind of funny. Is they'll paint everywhere right on the front of the figure where there should be black, like in here and stuff on his neck and right here, but it's not even black like it really should be. It's this really shiny silvery, like darker almost silver color than like his regular, so it does look kind of strange. And then you get to his backside, and it's not really painted much in here anymore, or on the tail anywhere at all. The tail is literally lacking all paint in every way, shape, and form, which is super disappointing, but that's to be expected because it's behind him. And then one of the other problems is, since they do have to fit this in a box, they make his tail super short and curved, which looks so strangely not proportionate to his body that it's just kind of, why? You couldn't have figured something else out? I mean, all the other Godzillas that come in these boxes, their tails curve up and over the box, basically, but nope, not Kiryu. Let's fucking make it curl around in the box so it looks stupid, but, back to the whole $40, 12 foot tall, wow, holy shit, no, 12 inches tall figure. So, I mean, you get what you pay for. The tip of his tail is also kind of strange. One side spike is way different size than the other, so he's really just kind of a deformed MechaGodzilla, but I guess that gives him character, makes him stand out a little bit more from the other MechaGodzillas you have on your collection. But then you have obviously this red triangle. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a hollow triangle, but it's just they slapped it on there and called it good. At least his eyes are yellow and he has his red lines on his face. I'm so glad they included those essential features because, you know, they probably wouldn't have if someone wouldn't have reminded the guy designing this. And then his tail doesn't really line up correctly with his back here. You can see that this crease of the tail does not line up with the crease of his back, which is kind of strange, but yet again, it was a Bandai creation figure originally, and, you know, they're not the best quality. And then we have, obviously, the red triangles on his underside knee areas, upper shin, I guess you would call that. And other than that, I mean, at least the wires look nicely detailed, and a lot of pieces of his armors do look nicely detailed. It's just some parts, just because of the way he's standing and the way he's proportionate to other regions, he kind of looks like he's falling over and really awkwardly positioned, because he does lean quite a bit, especially if you hang a metal watch from his neck for a couple nights. He'll definitely start to fall over. I've done that from experience, so do not put anything heavy on this because it will start to fall over from the vinyl collapsing, because he is quite hollow in his leg region, like a lot of MechaGodzillas. I really don't know why they make them the MechaGodzilla figures so flimsy anymore. Like, he's so top heavy. Like, you couldn't fill in just a little bit down below, but it's what you pay for. For some size comparisons, here he is next to a regular 6-inch Bandai vinyl with the Shin Godzilla, and then next to an 8-inch figure being the Marmot Millennium Godzilla with the Entertainment Earth exclusive paint job. And as you can see, you know, he is about twice as tall as this because it's 6 inches and this is supposed to be in a foot scale, so obviously that makes sense. And here it is next to some NECA figures with the Ultimate Gypsy Danger and the NECA NES Godzilla based off the '84 design, just to give you an idea of how big it is, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys have some of these figures, being how common they are, and especially being sold in most retail malls. And finally, for his articulation, it's basically pretty limited. We get some super stiff arm rotation on this arm here. It's almost kind of sketchy to move because you feel like you're going to break the vinyl. And then this one also goes around 360, but it's super loose, so if you position this arm up, it falls over, or falls down after time. So maybe they should have tried to balance that out a little better instead of having two opposite arms. And then, finally, we get this awesome tail rotation that everyone's going to do, because it totally looks natural to position your MechaGodzilla like this. So overall, with the Monster King series MechaGodzilla 2002, you get what you pay for. You get a foot-tall MechaGodzilla figure, but for $40 you do get some defects like bad sculpt and strange positioning and okay paint application and okay articulation. It's not fantastic, but, you know, I'm happy I got mine, regardless of how much you might think I hate it. I do appreciate it. So, if you guys like this figure, I'd go and find one right now while it's still around $40, because the original release of this was pretty limited and people were trying to sell it for $120 plus online, so definitely pick one of these up while you can, and as always, you guys have a great day.